and welcome back to my channel, Mythic Rose Tarot. Mythia here, and I am very excited to bring you this reading today. The topic of this reading is going to be, what do you need to transmute in your life? What energy do you need to transmute? And we're going to look through the oracle cards and through tarot cards about what needs to change and how you can change it, okay? In order to bring in feelings of more positivity, more abundance, and just more happiness into your life. So it's going to be a powerful message about what you need to change, what you need to alchemize, what you need to change in your life, what energy. And the first card here is going to be, it's going to stand for that theme, what theme you need to change in your life. This will be pile number 1. This will be pile number 2. And this will be pile number 3. Please remember that these messages are general readings, and so even in a pile that mostly resonates, there could be things that don't resonate too, because this pile is a general reading. So please know that if there is something that doesn't quite resonate, that's okay. Just, take what does resonate and kind of let the rest go, so that you can, don't get distracted by something that doesn't fit. You're the best judge of if it fits in your life or not. But hopefully these piles will resonate. I'd like to give you some time now to meditate on the piles, as well as the figurines for each one. So today, for pile number 1, let me just show you. We have a mallard for pile number 1. So if this beautiful mallard resonates your pile, there might be a message for you in pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have a wizard holding his gemstone, casting a spell. I've had this figurine for so long, but he is for sure a wizard. He's even got his wizard hat. Hope you can see him there. So if you are drawn to the wizard and the action of kind of casting a spell, then your pile, you could have a message in pile number 2. And pile number 3, you have a black cat figurine. She's sleeping so peacefully. So if you're drawn to pile number 3 or the black cat, your message could be in pile number 3. Okay, now I'm going to give you some time. I'll put about a minute for you to just meditate on the different piles, and please pick with your gut, with your heart, and with your intuition, okay? Not necessarily with your eyes. If you're not sure which pile to pick, you can always put in a random number generator, like 1 to 3, and then whatever comes up might be the pile that has a message for you. You can also look at the timestamps and see if there's any particular numbers that jump out to you from the timestamps. And of course, too, you could listen to all the piles and just take the messages that do resonate. But for most people, I expect that there'll be one pile that really speaks to you in this 3-card reading today. So without further ado, I'm going to give you some time now to meditate on these cards, and I hope that one of them will start to jump out to you as you sit and meditate on them. All right, I'll see you in the reading. Hi pile number 1, and welcome back to my channel, Mythic Rose Tarot. So in today's reading, what we're going to be looking at is what needs to transform in your life. What do you need to transmute? so that you can welcome in more abundance, like wealth and success. But abundance could mean in any form of abundance. But in mind, I specifically am trying to figure out for you what will help bring in more material abundance. Okay, so this is your pile if you picked pile number 1, if the number 1 stood out to you, or if this mallard stood out to you, right? Or the energy card, which we have on top here, energy reversed specifically. So this is the mallard. If you picked this figurine, then this is your pile if you felt drawn to this figurine. So there could be a message kind of channeled from this figurine itself as we go through. So I have shuffled your deck, many different decks for your pile today, and we'll finish off with a message pulled from a Rose Alchemy deck, which I really love, especially considering the flower of this channel is the rose. You can even see the roses on the backdrop here, kind of the quilt I have down. So there's going to be a special message from the roses for you today, 2 at the end. So again, this is your pile if you picked the energy card, the energy reversed card. And the question that we're looking at in detail is, what do you need to transmute? What energy needs to shift, really? Okay, so let's flip over these cards today. So, okay, 4 of Pentacles. Okay. The 4 of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. So lots of Pentacles energy here already. Generations with ancestors. Whale. Swan. And rebel. Or rebel. To rebel or be a rebel. Okay. And then, of course, we have a yellow rose from our Rose Alchemy deck here. Okay, wow. Okay, so already, pile number 1. When we're talking about what needs to transmute, also what came through is, how to do it. So not just what needs to change, but also some information about how to change, okay? In order to welcome in more abundance. And the first thing I can say, with energy reversed here, you are feeling drained. You are feeling so drained, pile number 1. So you'll know this is your pile if you're really feeling like your life force, kind of your vigor, is drained. If you're feeling very tired, uninspired too, I would say, like to get up and go to work. If you're also feeling right now like you don't really have anything you're passionate about. We've got this energy reversed. So what we want is, how can we get the energy flowing again? Get it back upright, okay? So what do you need to transmute? Starting off, I would say something that you need to let go of right now is overworking, okay? You're feeling extremely overworked. That is for sure. Especially with this 4 of Pentacles, I feel like what you need to let go of is a lot of this fear or materialism or kind of possessiveness about, especially material things or money, okay? You need to have a little bit more trust in the universe. And with King of Pentacles, I feel like the King of Pentacles has worked so hard and he's overworked. In this instance, because of the question we ask, I feel like the King of Pentacles is showing that you are feeling overworked and that your vitality, your physical body is just feeling so drained. So already what you need to transmute are these feelings of, it's kind of like 5 of Pentacles energy I'm feeling for you. It's these feelings of a lack. It's like material lack. What is getting in your way of abundance is over focusing on these material things and being kind of greedy with your resources. Okay, so you need to be a little bit more generous, I would say, with yourself, definitely with yourself and your time, and you need to take a lot more time for rest and self-care. Let's keep going. So there's so much coming through. With ancestors, I'm kind of feeling 2 different messages here, and either one, maybe both apply with the Rebel and Ancestors card here. But what I'm really feeling is that you need to remember, to help you transmute the blockages that you're facing right now and to welcome in more abundance, you need to remember your ancestors. You need to know that you come from a line of people who would be so proud to know you and to see where you have come. I'm getting a strong feeling like there are not even a generational curse, but maybe just generational patterns that have been passed down. And I think that part of the reason you're so tired is that you have spent a lot of time breaking those patterns. I really feel like you are someone that is breaking those patterns. So what you need to remember is that it's okay. I think it's okay to rest. This is especially true if you have, I'm feeling like, grew up with a message or parents or something like that who are really pushing you, always pushing you, because there's one thing to be said for pushing and pushing hard in order to achieve success, but you also have to remember that sometimes it's okay to rest too and take care of your own physical body, or to pursue something you're more passionate about and that you're more emotionally connected to. So this gives me the vibes of maybe like you have parents who are like, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer, you need to get it together, go get your like PhD, masters, and be taken care of financially. But for you, maybe this grind of, maybe like having to work while going to school, I'm really getting a feeling that you're so tired, and it feels like the burdens put on you by society and maybe your family they're feeling really heavy. So to transmute this energy, you need to cut yourself a lot more slack. And with whales and the blue whale, like, look, these blue whales are beautiful, massive, like gentle giants, okay? Um, and they, even though they're so big, they've achieved such physical presence in the world. I believe that they feed on like krill and like little things, right? They're not really chasing after other whales for food. They go peacefully and slowly, and they have very strong, I believe, social ties with each other, as mostly all whales kind of do. Um, and they go deep. They go deep into the ocean. And so with this, I feel like Spirit is saying that to transmute this energy, this feeling of this lack of energy you have, you need to go deep within and figure out what is going to bring you more peace. Okay? You need more peace in your life. If you can just imagine, I'm seeing going so slowly through the water and feeling so much peace, with the sounds of the ocean around you and just this kind of solitude, actually. So I feel like you need to really go inward. And then we also have, don't forget, we have the swan. Okay? And the swan is such a graceful, beautiful bird. And you'll notice too, you have the mallard as well, right? So this is again another bird that is a waterfowl. It's another bird that travels in the water. And mallards are a symbol of renewal, especially because they come back every spring, at least in Canada where I live, and they're so beautiful. And they travel in pairs always. You don't ever see really a mallard without its mate. So this is very similar, I think, to a swan. This message, which is not just go in, but like to gracefully swim like atop the water, and remember that your problems, you can kind of rise or sit above your problems, but you really need to get more emotionally connected. Pile number one, I believe, with what's going on around you, and you need to find that emotional pull rather than an exterior pull to help you transmute this feeling of stagnancy. And really, as I'm reading your pile, I feel so tired. I feel so tired. I think you have a lot mentally going on, like how when you see a duck, right? They're always treading water. Their feet are going so fast under the surface of the water. So I think that you are putting so much effort in just to stay afloat right now. And I think Spirit wants you to be able to just go more slowly like a swan, more slowly like a whale going through the ocean, and to really take time in isolation to solidify what it is that you actually care about. And also with whale here, I'm really feeling like you need to go out into nature. You need to sit out in nature. I'm kind of like forest bathed, like listen to the sounds of nature rather than the sounds of like fast music or cars or urban sounds. I'm really feeling like you need some time in nature. Even too with this King of Pentacles, right? And the Four of Pentacles, you need to get more connected with nature. I'm feeling like you need to kind of rebel, I think, against this like system, right? That's telling you have to be on all the time. You always have to have your Every second of your day needs to be accounted for. You kind of have to rebel against this pressure to always be on. And if you do, in the case that you do have like parents or people pushing you to just never stop, really, you need to rebel against that energy, and you need to take a break. You need to take a break. I'm feeling too, you need to connect to. So that was kind of one side of the ancestors card, but the other side is that if this resonates more, then this is your message. Where with the ancestors, maybe you need to actually research your ancestors and get in touch with a gift that has been passed down from generation to generation that maybe you're not very much in touch with right now. And maybe it's something where it doesn't automatically, it doesn't really mean like the family business that you'll take over and then have wealth and abundance. It's more like if, for example, there is a gift of like working with your hands, especially you see the hands here, and maybe a lot of your parent, your great grandparent, maybe they were woodworkers, or maybe they were artists, or maybe they knit or did sewing or something, some sort of craft, cooking with their hands. I feel that part of what you need to do is to slow down, is to like get in touch with something that maybe could be passed down. And if those ancestors, if those, parents or grandparents are not physically there, remember that they're spiritually there and they have your back right now, and they want you to slow down. They want you to connect with them. They want you to connect with your past and like your kin, like the many generations that have come before you, and move something forward. So it might not be the like breaking that generational curse. It could also be embracing something from a generation past. And I think that one of the ways you can do that and start to get in touch with that is to do something, some sort of handcraft. So it could even be, right, like maybe your family's full of gardeners. Maybe that's getting out and gardening or something. And that will help you start to move and transmute the blockages that you're facing right now with wealth. So you need to get in touch with your ancestors and generations. Let me read this card. I want to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. There are so many different ways this card could be feeding into the energy of the rest of the reading, but I really feel the biggest thing for you is you feel a lack of energy, and that is blocking you from abundance, is your lack of being able to act or like have passion for something, for projects or for work, to be able to. I feel like you don't really want to go to work. Like it's kind of like your life right now is a permanent Sunday slog where you're like, oh, Monday's coming, oh, I don't want to go to work. That's kind of how you're feeling right now. That's what you need to overcome. So let me just find it here from ancestors. Ancestors are those from whom we're descended, with a lineage that starts with our parents and grandparents and stretches back hundreds, even thousands of years. We carry our ancestors' bloodline and are connected them genetically and spiritually in an underlying continuity of which we may only barely be aware. Although environment and circumstance contribute to shaping us, particularly when we're young, an innate thread of kinship exists that has run the course of history for thousands of years and is contained in our bodies and in our being. Since we're biologically and soulfully connected to these spirit beings, we can readily call upon them for guidance and assistance in matters concerning our family, community, and ourselves. In this card's image, the hands symbolize the constant connection with the past. Okay. So I think this is right in line with what I was saying, but I think also a message that you can maybe meditate, go within and call upon the wisdom from the generations, from your own lineage, to help guide you with what you should be doing or letting go of. So in order to help you move forward this energy and to have more vitality, you need to rest. You need to give yourself so much grace. Okay, so especially with the swan, you need to go and get in touch, maybe even go spend some time in water or watching water, like go to a river, or if you have like a little fountain that's decorative, go spend time by that, but go listen to the water, meditate, be more in nature. Let go of the workaholic tendency that you have right now. If you can, take a vacation. Of course, keep doing what you need to do to like put food on your table, but if you've been overworking, you need to take a pause, and you need to let go of these feelings of, if there's something that you're feeling possessive over in your life, something where you're feeling kind of greedy in any way, especially greedy with money, you need to let that go. You need to rebel against the pressure that could be put upon you, okay, by society, yourself, or if you, again, from that first meaning of the ancestors cards, I kind of was feeling, if you have a very pushy family, maybe rebel against that. So take some time away from that and craft maybe some good arguments about why it is you want to go the path you want to go, and reinvest in yourself so that you can get back in a flow of energy here. Okay, so let's finish off this reading. That's a lot of advice that came through really quickly. All of this will help you attract more success, positivity, and abundance in your life. Now let's finish off with the wisdom from the Rose Alchemy deck. Just let me find it here. Give me one moment. Okay. The Soul Star speaks. So here is a little affirmation, really, from this card, okay, for you. And here is your card. Soul Star. Beloved one, look up, look up. I am the keeper of grace. You are grace. You came to earth as grace. I hold your storyline through time. You came through me. You return through me. I am your personal Akasha. The soul star is the chakra point that holds your personal Akasha, soul record, and the keeper of your soul's choice for this incarnation. It is a point at which the divine higher soul self energy coming through the stellar gateway activates your personal seed coding. The clearer and more aligned you are within your personal chakra system, especially the heart, the more open your crown chakra becomes. The soul star then becomes brighter and more active to bring forth the next steps on your journey. The heart is the key to the activation. This rose asks, are you ready to blossom? Are you ready to connect with the truth of who you are at a soul level and what you came to bring as your unique gifts? Okay, wow. So this this rose really speaks to everything that we were saying. So this is that remembering that you came to earth as a graceful being and spirit, and that you are connected to those generations that came before you, and that your gifts are probably very much connected to those who came before you. So you need to get in touch with that, and you need to get in touch with what do you really care about? What are you emotionally connected to? You need to have those feelings more of grace, just like seeing, a whale move. It's like moving gently through the world. You need to move more gently, pile number 1. You need to give yourself grace. Okay, that's beautiful. So that's all the messages coming through right now. It's a lot of advice about how to transmute this stagnant energy you're feeling, and I hope that it resonated. Of course, as always, really, if you liked this video, you can comment below. Tell me if it resonated. Tell me, maybe what part of it resonated, or cards or anything like that, or if you have any connection to the reading. And of course, if you did enjoy it, you can subscribe and see the next one too. Okay, thank you, pile number 1. Until next time. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome back to my channel, Mythic Rose Tarot. And today's video topic is about what do you need to transmute in your life right now in order to reach a feeling of more happiness and more success, more abundance. So what do you need to transmute? What do you need to change, really? And this is your pile number 2, if you picked card number 2, or if you picked the wizard figurine. So for me, I strongly connect this wizard figurine with alchemy, really, right? So this idea of transmutation, I think, really fits beautifully with the wizard. And this will be your pile. Card number 2, this will be the main theme of what you need to transmute. So what you need to transmute, pile number 2. Okay, it's a feeling, you've been feeling pain. And I'm feeling that this is not necessarily physical pain. I'm feeling more emotional pain when I look at this, okay? I'm feeling there's been a lot of ups and downs in your life right now. And it's been painful. It's been a bumpy ride. It's been a rough ride. That's how it's felt. I think these are emotional highs and lows that you've been feeling. And I think you've been really feeling down. So this is what needs transmuting in your life. So you'll know this pile is for you if you're drawn to the energy of the wizard, and if you're definitely feeling like there has been some pain that you need to transmute in your life, some emotional pain about life. Okay, so let's get started, pile number 2. I've pre-shuffled some oracle cards, some tarot cards, and then to finish off, we have kind of a beautiful like affirmation and healing message from the Rose Alchemy deck. So we'll look at that one last. So let's have a look at what needs transmutation in your life. Excuse me, and what you need to do and how you might transmute that energy, okay? I'll kind of tuck him up here. There we go. So what needs transmutation is the pain, and how might you do it? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to transmute? So we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Tower reversed. Coyote. Okay, Coyote is a guiding animal. Energy and wisdom. Cougar. Okay. 2 powerful spirit energies there. Dragonfly with emergence. Wow, okay. Lots of transformation. Lots of transformational and alchemical alchemy that needs to happen here. And then we have Seeker. Okay, as energy to embody. And we have a beautiful kind of white pink rose that will have a message of really love and guidance for you at the end that we'll look at. Okay, so the first thing I can say that in order to transmute these feelings of emotional pain, there is a change that's happening, okay? There's a change that's happening in your life. Here we go. We have Dragonfly in the Tower. That's a change that's happening in your life. And I think with the Tower reversed, you've been avoiding, you've been clinging on to the Tower. You've been clinging on and wanting this stability for like dear life, okay? And what could this look like? This could look like a relationship that's failing and you know that it is not working out, but it's security, right? You're clinging on to this relationship, hoping that it will work out, but you know in your heart that it's not working. This could be a job, okay, that you are, of course, clinging on to, because a job is your, livelihood in the world, and it's self-esteem, right? We feel proud, really, when we can get up and go to work and have somewhere to be, somewhere where we matter. But this could be that something's happening at work and it's not working. And you're clinging on for dear life, hoping change will happen, but you need to surrender to this change. You need to surrender and go through the transformation, because change, it's here, it's at your doorstep. I think it's been knocking on the door for a while, and you need to let the change in. You need to go through the Tower moment, the shakeup, so that, Spirit, the universe, your higher self can help you clear away the things that are really causing you this pain. So if it's a relationship, let go of it. If it is a job that's not working, right? So maybe it's like at work that you see all around you downsizing happening. Maybe people are getting laid off, and you keep trying to just keep your mouth shut about any problems so that you're not the next one laid off, and make sure you don't like talk to anyone about any problems. If you have any problems, you're just sweeping them under the rug. Because it's kind of a toxic workplace and you're afraid you might be next. I don't know why that's the message that's coming through this work insecurity with like layoffs or something. But I would say start looking for another job now, because this change is coming. This environment you're in, it will never be like it was before. And that's okay. That is for the positive. Okay. I'm feeling there is a change that you have to surrender to. I don't feel it could also be with your living situation, okay? Maybe you're living somewhere that it's not healthy for you, so you need to surrender to this change and like let it happen. So this could mean maybe you're starting to get a feeling like you're living in a house and like everything's starting to go wrong, like it doesn't really feel like a home anymore, like there's mold growing or something in the bathroom, and maybe the faucet's always leaking and you kind of suspect there might be some sort of problem really lurking behind the walls, that kind of thing. I think trust that feeling, trust that shakeup. You need to like move homes. Or maybe you have a landlord that's not addressing problems, like there's mushrooms growing through the carpet or something, and they're not doing anything about it. You need to move homes and not keep hoping that it will just be better, because you are feeling so much brain fog, so much emotional pain, and so much trouble in your, I'd say in your environment, with the Queen of Pentacles here, okay? And with Dragonfly, you need to go through the change. You need to allow a transformation to happen in your life in order to clear away this pain you're feeling, this emotional pain. It could even be physical pain, but I'm feeling more mental pain, mental and spiritual and emotional pain. But it could be physical pain too. My gosh. Okay, coyotes. This is a symbol that what you need in your life, very similar to the Dragonfly and the Tower energy here. Wow. This is a symbol for me that you need to meet this change with a lot of courage. And it's similar with a cougar. You need to meet this change with courage. Coyotes are a trickster kind of animal guide, okay? When you see a coyote, it is kind of a double-edged message. Partially, I think it's a message to accept the change that's happening, to know that change is coming, and to also see the good side of the change, and to meet it with a lot of courage, and to travel that change head on, and take it in stride, okay? Now, this is funny. This is probably my pile. I have seen this in the past 2 months. I have seen like 10 coyotes. I've seen them at work. I've seen them at home. I've seen them out on walks. And always they're being chased by blackbirds. So especially that you might know this message is for you if like me, you're seeing coyotes all over the place. So it's funny how I can go years without seeing them, but this year I'm seeing so many. I'm also seeing a lot of dragonflies. So you also know if this pile is for you if you're seeing some of these animals, okay? But a coyote is a trickster kind of energy. And it's also a reminder to lighten up, to laugh more, okay? To actually have more fun, and to get yourself into a place where you can have more fun. Because right now you're not feeling it. You're resisting this change, okay? So you need to embrace the change. You need to face it head on with courage, and you need to find the positive side of life. And this is a message with Cougars are so independent. So I feel like this is a message to start to go inside internally and take the time to kind of go on your own journey and ask yourself, what is it that you want? So, if it's a job, what kind of job do you want? You need to, I think, actually write down what you want. I think you need that energy here. For pile number 1, the message is to meditate. For pile number 2, your message is to journal, or at least to, if you go for a walk, to be considering this question about what do you want, seeking what do you really want. If you are thinking about a home, you need to write down so that you can manifest what kind of a home do I want, and allow this change to happen as you move. That way maybe you can get closer to the home that you really want, that feeling that you want. And it doesn't need to be writing down like, this home must be 10 years old or 1 year old and have, be in this neighborhood. I don't necessarily mean like that, but it could be you want to write down the feeling you have when you're at home. So that could mean feeling safe, feeling comforted, feeling protected, okay? Feeling like you have a home base where you can build the rest of your life out of. I'm really feeling that you need to go inward. Now, something else, coyotes and cougars both, they don't really have super big groups they travel with. So I'm really feeling a message that you need to keep your dreams and your ideas and what you write down about what you want, keep it to yourself or to just a few close, trusted people, because there are some people in your life I'm feeling that are maybe not very trustworthy and might be contributing to these changes needing to happen. So I would say keep your dreams, keep your desires to yourself more. Write them down, revisit them yourself every day, but be careful who you share them with. Keep your circle small right now. That's what's really coming through in my head, is just these images of a small circle, traveling with just maybe a couple of people, or even spending a lot of time alone right now to figure out what it is that you want. I think that it's time. There's some things you have to face. Okay, and then with the Queen of Pentacles, this is why I feel like what you need is you need to embrace more comfort in your life. So there is something that is so it's really not feeling good, okay, in your life. You need to start to move towards a place where you feel safe and secure. So that's why I'm really feeling like this could be a relationship, this could be work, or specifically like a place that you're living. I think you need to change that. That's what needs to change here. And you need to embrace more of this Queen of Pentacles energy so that you can get closer to happiness and closer to a feeling of more freedom and abundance in your life. So I think also spending time because you want to be emotionally okay with these things. So I think sitting down and spending time, like I said, writing down the feeling you want to have with the new thing. So I think I mentioned before about the house, but it could also be the relationship. So not necessarily writing down like, I want to meet somebody with black hair and green eyes, not like that, but writing down, I want to be in a relationship where I feel safe to be myself, where there's lots of laughter, where it's safe to make mistakes, where we can maybe fight and weather the storm and then come out stronger, so we can have clear communication. Write down the feelings that you want, I feel. Those tangible feelings that you want to see. And you can also write down to like specific goals, I think, if it's like money. So you can write down both, but don't just focus on like the physical. I think you also want to pay attention to the emotional, just like how she's emerging from the water here, so that you can emerge into your new life feeling, both comfortable and emotionally safe too. Okay. Wow, that is so many messages that just came through, pile number 2, for what needs transmutation and how to do it. I think with Queen of Pentacles too, if you're spending too much money, that might be contributing to feelings of instability. So like if maybe you're in an apartment or something where the rent is too high, you might need to find ways to minimize your savings. Minimize your spending so that you can have more savings and feel more secure. I also feel like if there's ideas or like something in your life like ideas, I think you need to pay attention to them, because it could be that you are a little bit more independent and that you could actually be an entrepreneur, work for yourself. So that's coming through too, is you might want to start to think about how you can be more in control of your own income and your own life. So this might mean rather than, especially I'm thinking about this in work, like being an entrepreneur, but it could also mean that rather than renting, maybe you need to move towards owning a property so that you feel more of a sense of security and control. Like nobody can take it away from you, nobody can kick you out, that kind of thing. Okay, wow, that was so many messages. Let's finish off. I'm going to read to you this rose alchemy meaning of this beautiful rose card. As you know, roses are like the the official symbol of this channel. They're one of my most, I really feel spiritually connected to roses. That's why we're Mythic Rose Tarot here. And I really would love to end with this guidance. So let me find it here. This rose in this deck is called the Stellar Gateway. Okay, so let's have a look. The Stellar Gateway speaks. I am a portal of cosmic love, she who knows all, for I am the entry point to Akasha. I am the activator and transducer of the codes of numinous light. All is given to those who are ready. The key awaits. The Stellar Gateway is the entry point of the divine light from Source or God that is transduced in frequency to be received and absorbed by your physical and energy bodies. It is also the access portal for the Akashic fields of energy said to contain the knowledge of all that is and your connection to past, present, and future. It is said that ask and it shall be given. The Stellar Gateway is wonderful energy to work with if you're wishing to connect and understand more of your cosmic heritage and the feminine Christ consciousness energies. This rose can act as a 5D portal to link you with your gold crysted grids, with the gold crysted grids of light around the earth. She can also help clear the energy pathways through your soul star and into your crown, third eye, and throat, the chalice of your heart, enabling access to more of your higher soul keys and the codes from higher dimensions stored from previous lifetimes when you are ready to receive them. Okay, beautiful. So this is a very soft message, but powerful. So this message is, I really think, really connected with this seeker. So something needs to change, and you know it, in order for you to reduce this and transmute this feeling of pain that's really bogging you down. You really need to ask, and you need to, it's time for you to get very clear on what you want. Take that time independently to get clear on what you want, so that you can ask the universe for it, and know that you will get help in receiving what it is that you want with this message. And you need to ask with, I would say with love, like connect with the heart chakra energy, and the third, and the crown, and the third eye, and the throat chakra too. So this is kind of using your intuition. Of course, I feel like cougars, especially because they travel at night a lot, that is connected with that divine feminine energy. That feminine, what do you want to manifest towards you? What can work in the night? So get clear on that, so that you can manifest it towards you. And ask for it with a lot of love. And the reason I really, like I said before, I really feel like you need to write this down or speak it out loud. That is connected with the throat chakra, okay? In order to help you receive this change and get through this change, in order to feel more abundance in your life. Okay, wow. That was so many messages that came through pile number 2. So, if you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it resonated, feel free to comment below and tell me what you thought, and maybe what in particular resonated with you. If you want to see more readings from me, I try to post once a week as much as I can. Usually on Wednesdays, that's what I'm trying out. So hopefully if you want to see another video next Wednesday, tune in, and you can always subscribe if you want to, get a notification of my next video as well. Or, feel free to give a like to this video too. That really helps the channel maybe start to grow. It was a pleasure to read for you pile number 2, and have a really beautiful day. Hi pile number 3, welcome back to my channel, Mythic Rose Tarot. So today, the question again that we're looking at is, what do you need to transmute in your life? What needs to transform so that you can access more happiness, more abundance, and just more feelings of positivity, really? And this is your pile if you picked number 3, or if you looked at this sleeping cat and you thought, yes, this is the I guess, figurine that I am feeling called towards. This black cat who's sleeping so peacefully. Already I feel like you need to know that you're protected. That's really what I feel. Both from the black color, but also this black cat kind of energy. I feel like you need to know that you're protected right now. Okay, but let's get started. So this first card is going to be the theme that shows us what you need to transmute, okay? So let's see. Okay, so confidence. Oh yes, and I've pre-shuffled all of the oracle cards and everything. So you need to transmute, and it's reversed. So you are feeling right now a lack of confidence, okay? Inside, I'm seeing that you're feeling a lack of confidence. Let's see what other information we can get about what needs transmutation. Okay, strength reversed. Yeah, definitely I'm feeling a lack of confidence going on pile number 3. This might be very painful. Yes, this might be a very painful thing for you to be feeling right now. Okay, what else? Whale, breach. So now we're getting into some advice about how to transmute this energy, okay? Octopus guidance. So we have whale, octopus, and I think this is a humpback whale. Heron. Wow, what a majestic. I always find herons very majestic. Just beautiful birds. Okay, I've only seen one once in my life in nature. And for more guidance, we have guide. Okay, and then this last card is actually from a deck I have, the Rose Alchemy deck. So it's going to be a message I'll read from the guidebook itself of kind of an affirmation for how to connect with this transmutation, what you need to know right now from spirit. Oh wow, but you have, so it's a beautiful white rose, okay? This message is from a beautiful white rose today. Okay. A lot of information is already coming through pile number 3. So the thing that you need to transmute 100% is in your life right now, you are feeling a severe lack of confidence inside, okay? You are having so much self-doubt and you are distracting yourself, I feel, with things that are just leading to lots of painful thoughts. So your both the things that you're physically doing in life, maybe it's like spending a lot of time, I feel, on like social media, comparing yourself to other people, or like looking at everyone else's success stories, and things like that, kind of like with all 8 arms of this octopus are going at once. You are trying to distract yourself from this feeling, and by keeping busy. But what you need is the opposite. You need to simplify to start to overcome this feeling of lack of confidence. Oh my gosh, there's so many things coming through. You are feeling, so you're in the pathways in your mind, okay, the ways that you think are really harming your confidence right now. And I feel like you're resisting changing how you're thinking about things. You're resisting change and the final kind of letting go. The Ten of Swords is coming to a completion. It is a painful card. It's reversed, but it is a painful card. But you can already see the new, the darkness is fading away in the Ten of Swords. This pain is leaving. It's a final release, a final letting go of something that was really hurting you so that you can start to move towards this new dawn of a new day, okay, in a powerful way. So with it reversed, I'm kind of feeling in this sense that you are avoiding heading towards this new dawn right now. Not on purpose. I think it's just through what you've been doing, how you've been coping is kind of getting in the way of moving towards this new dawn and starting to get towards your feelings of confidence, okay? I think there might be somebody in your life, either you yourself are like scrolling on social media or just comparing yourself to other people in your life, or even to people that you don't even know who they are, but you're comparing yourself to them. And I'm just feeling called to tell you to remember that what you see on social media, what you see on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, it's all curated and cultivated and filtered up, and there's so much artificial intelligence, okay? I'm especially feeling the artificial intelligent because octopuses are so intelligent, okay? But I'm feeling this kind of like reversed kind of energy of it. Please know that it's going to be so detrimental for your health and your feelings of well-being and your self-esteem to compare yourself to people on the internet. I'd say half of the things you see, they're not even real. Please remember that. So if you are like scrolling on Instagram and kind of numbing your mind, that is something you need to stop doing. It's just causing you pain to see these things hold them in your mind's eye, okay? Because you need to focus on yourself. It's kind of that idea of comparison is the thief of joy, I'm feeling. And especially stagnancy is, I think, harming you right now in some ways. In some ways, it's also what you need, but you need to focus it a different way. Like a heron is a creature. I said that kind of weird. the heron is kind of he'll stand still. There are animals that can stand still and look so intently for a long time, and they can also fly really high and fly very far. So in this way, it would mean that stillness in the right direction can be very beneficial. But stagnancy in the wrong direction, as in not changing your mental patterns or your not changing your environment, is going to put you in the wrong way, okay? Like a heron can be still after flying for like so far as they migrate. So what I'm seeing is that you need to change your mental pathways. If you're telling yourself, I can never do this, you're wrong. So if you're looking on like TikTok and you're seeing like somebody going through a physical transformation and you're saying, you know what, I can never go through that physical transformation and like run a marathon or change my eating habits or something, you can do it, okay? You have to know you can do it. And the way that you start to do it is you start to change your environment, okay? Like an octopus, you need to be adaptable. You need to leave your comfort zone, just like this whale is breaching out of the water. He's leaving behind his the place he lives, his comfort zone in the ocean, to experience the air and this other element in such a powerful way. So you need change. I think part of what you can do to start to transmute the energy you're experiencing that's contributing to your lack of confidence is like change your environment. So if that means you're sitting inside on your couch, maybe scrolling social media, you need to put that down and you need to go and get outside. But more than just with nature, I think if you want to take a trip somewhere, now is a sign that you should take that trip, and migrate far, just like this great bird can do. And you can observe how people in other places are living. If you're always at home, maybe go to a coffee shop, right, to start to do your work. If you're always mentally preoccupied in one way, you need to change it. You need to completely breach your thought patterns you have and change them. You need powerful change here. You're just feeling such a lack of, your self-esteem is low, pile number 3. I also feel that you know that you are so intelligent and you can be so focused and you are a powerful person. You could be a powerful guide for yourself. I think you already know the answers and you can be somebody that can guide other people. But you're holding yourself back somehow. You don't feel strong right now. You don't feel mentally or I think physically strong. So what you really need to do is focus on changing your environment and starting to overcome your fears. Right now you're enveloped in fear and self-doubt and you need to shed that. Part of it is go ahead, change your environment, and then fail. Fail if you're going to fail. And that's not a bad thing. What you need to learn, you need to stop being afraid of failure, because the truth is everybody fails in little ways, especially before they make it big. Nobody's an overnight success, okay? So you need to go through failure and learn the lessons that you need to learn so that you can guide yourself more powerfully forward and see what works for you and see what doesn't work for you. So for some reason, I'm getting this idea that if that means it's like going out and being a comedian, right? They have to test out their material somehow, but if they were completely afraid of people not laughing, they would never get out there and tell their jokes or share themselves and their act with the world. If somebody was afraid of being seen, they would never post what they need to post on social media to start building their platform. If they were afraid of not getting a job and this is like that energy of not going for the job interview because you don't think you can deal with the pain of not getting the job. So in the end, you never try. It's this energy of like missing 100%. You'll always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So this is the energy of like, you're not taking shots in your life. You're not even really trying, not giving it your full 100%. And so you need to let go of this fear that you might fail and instead say it's okay. Have radical acceptance for yourself that it's okay if you do fail, and trust that you're adaptable. You can change these elements. You're so intelligent that you can take any failure and tweak it so that you can be successful next time. And only through seeing that you can get through failures, right? It's going to take a couple job interviews before you can like get the job that's going to build your confidence. Or if it's a personal project you're working on, like a creative thing, maybe you fail. Maybe nobody sees the first few posts you make until you start to get better and better at your craft. And that will build your confidence and show you that you can do it. Okay, so what you need to transmute is these feelings of self-doubt, and you need to do it by going out there, getting out of your comfort zone, absolutely changing the way that you're thinking about yourself, trusting in your own intelligence, but also simplifying your life. So just like the heron can so intently stare, stay in one environment and stay so still, I feel you need to do that, and you need to figure out what is it that you want to do, and you need to start trying for it, okay? And stop distracting yourself with, everything that you could possibly do, and really start to get clear and sit in the stillness of what you want from life. So it could be meditation, but I feel like part of it is you already know what you're avoiding doing, and you need to get out there and do it. So like applying for a job, bringing some sort of creative project to life. I really feel that you have something that you've been afraid to share with the world. Like you've been afraid to be seen. Just like an octopus, right? They kind of hide. They can camouflage. It's like you've been camouflaging yourself, and it's time for you to stand out, to breach out of the water, to stay in one place and show that you can withstand the trials, okay, that come with growing. So there's so much potential and room for growth, and I think you need to remember that you're protected right now. I feel too that you are manifesting what it is you want. You're just kind of standing in your own way a little bit with your mental patterns, okay? Please stop comparing yourself to other people. That's not a fair comparison, right? there's I think a saying that the only fair comparison is comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. So that's why you need to start and focus on your life. I think too, you have to be careful where you're getting your guidance from. I think that you can be a great guide for yourself just through going through and not being afraid to experience life and letting your experiences start to guide you. Because as you try things, you'll start to figure out what you like and what works for you and letting go of the things that aren't working for you. So I think this is a message to kind of guide yourself. So for me, this is also a message of like, if you've been spending too much time not taking action, so like watching too many, it even could be like pick-a-cards or something on YouTube, okay? Or like talking to coaches, okay, or talking to a therapist, but never taking action or trying to get all your guidance from someone else, it's not working in your life. It's a message that that's not working, and you need to adapt, and you need to start to live life and start to learn from life and let life be your guide. Figuring out what works for you is not a scary thing. You should embrace it. You need change. You need to change your environment. You need to change your mental environment. Let's look at the rose message now for you, okay? Let's finish off here. So just let me find it quickly here. So this is from a deck called the Rose Alchemy Rose Oracle for the Heart deck. And let me just find this one. Okay. Here we go. Rose Ma speaks. Here we go. I am protector. True power comes from the light of truth in your heart, the purest of love that comforts all. The purity and integrity of our hearts is our greatest protector. The ability to stay in the vibration of love is ever more essential in these fast-changing times. It is the vibration of love that reminds every cell in our physical body of its perfected geometry and blueprint for perfect health. The powerful love is also the energy that awakens within the feminine when our children or loved ones are in danger. We will tap into resources we didn't know we had in those circumstances. This rose comes to remind you that you are always loved and that she can wrap her fragrant petals around you and hold you safe. She carries the energy of the swan, a fierce protector, and yet powerful and graceful. Call on her, allow her to support and strengthen you. Pile number 3, you might have a message in pile number 1 too, with that mention of the swan. Okay. This, to me, really, they remind me of each other. Just like this cat is protected, it's sleeping so peacefully, and it's trusting that when it wakes up, it's going to have everything it needs, and it's sleeping so soundly. I feel like this is a message of that. It's coming from, you need more security. You need to come from a place of love more. So rather than focusing, like I said, on other people, you need to focus on yourself. I'm really feeling also with the heron, you need to take time every day to be still and think about things you're grateful for. So maybe in the morning or at the end of every day, this will be incredibly beneficial for helping you overcome your feelings of self-doubt and your feelings of insecurity. This will help you overcome it. You'll start to see the world through the lens of love and what you're grateful for in your life. So you need more of this, like I said, this radical self-acceptance. And you need to know, you need to practice coming from love, right, in everything that you're doing, and knowing that you are protected. So even if you make a mistake, if you say something, if you open your mouth and you put your foot in your mouth, you're still protected and you are still loved. Okay, it really is not the end of the world, so you need not be so afraid. And if you have someone around you who is making you feel this way, I do feel this is like you need to remove them from your life in a powerful motion. You need to be the guide of your own life. I'm really strongly feeling that. So don't let somebody else influence, especially if they're telling you there's something you can't do or you're not good enough when you are. I promise you, you are. And if you're not as good as you want to be yet, it will come in time. You have to have that patience, okay? But you need a change. You need a change of scenery. Pile number 3, for sure. Okay, so those are the messages that have come through pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please go ahead and you can like and maybe subscribe to the channel to see more. Right now, I try to post once a week. We'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited to bring these messages to you. So if it resonated, please let me know. You can comment below and Let me know what pile you picked, and if you picked pile 3, let me know if it resonated. This is overall a beautiful message, and it's a beautiful way to end off. It's a reminder from Spirit that you are loved, okay, and you deserve to feel confident and strong within yourself, and you deserve to let go of these mental patterns that are torturing you. It's okay to let them go and walk towards that new horizon. Okay, thank you, pile number 3. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.